Sun, moon, stars,
It's a dark night, 2-0. So, you see the beacon of light through that black hole? Greetings. We're going to go ahead and get into this love pool. Now, for some, this love pool is not necessarily someone that you're currently interested in. However, because they feel like they did something to draw on your energy, this is something that's going to be insightful. Now, because what's in my hand is talking about a reconciliation, this is indeed another segment to my prior reading. However, someone is currently thinking about doing something, and because they're thinking about doing it, it's going to come out in this reading. Now I have a whole bunch of cards here. However, this particular pool is going to be associated with several different energies. Now what that looks like to you is someone that feels like you forgot about them is attempting to bind you in a love situation. And for others, this is someone that has already proven to you that they are not worthy of you. However, what I'm also getting is somebody recently reconciliated. And because of this reading is going to be interesting. Now, for those that want to know more about a certain situation, my advice for you is to join the membership. Now, I do have a love tier that is specifically for love readings. However, if you join tier 3, you'll get some information pertaining to who this person is and their intentions in your life. Now, what I currently have in my hand is, I have a plan for us, but it will take some time. Can you be patient a little longer? So what this is getting to is, someone delaying something. However, they feel like you'll wait for them. Now, if you feel like this is you, my suggestion is to not upload anything for 24 hours, because if you do not upload, they're going to say that he watched the reading. Now, in regards to a struggle love situation, what I'm picking up for you is this is the situation that is already in reconciliation. And because of this, someone is also already feeling burnt out. And this is because this is a codependent connection. Now, for someone, you could be saying if they need each other, then they should be together. However, I beg to differ, because when the divine, which is the God, throws a tower in your life, it is because everything in your environment needs to change. Now, if you feel like this is you, joining tier 1 on Sun, Moon, and Stars Intuitive here on YouTube is my best suggestion for you. However, currently, someone that is already viewing me is going to say that either is showing out. And this is because I called out individuals that were doing things to them in the past and present. Now, because this is also pulling on a struggle love situation, what this is talking about is someone feeling like they need to get away. Now, because they currently feel this way, this is telling me that this is an upheaval that this individual is currently experiencing. And because of this, someone in your environment is going to say that she pulls on anyone's energy that watches her. However, the truth about it is I pull on any energy that needs me, either show me what it is I need to see. Now, what I notice is there's always a card falling. And because there's always a card falling, this is telling me that this pertains to someone's fall from grace. Now, because I have Aries and Libra currently in my hand, what this is talking about is a divine masculine. Now, they don't necessarily have to be your divine masculine. However, what I'm getting is they are a DM. And because of this, I'm going to say this is a 50-50 reading, because some of these are wannabe thrones and others are elect ones. Now, if you've recently seen a reading that you feel is an extension to this one, what I'm going to say to you is you're correct. However, the placement of the people are wrong. And this is because in that reading, I did not discern who was male and who was female. However, in regards to an Empress energy, any Empress energy is someone that is a woman, not a female. Now, for a particular Aries, this is talking about a love choice. However, you could currently be married. And for another throne wannabe, what this is talking about is someone creeping with your spouse. Now, at the bottom of the deck, we have Virgo and Pisces. So what this is telling me is someone went out on a whim. And when that took place, it turned into a fated situation. Now, because it's currently 2 Sagittarius masculine energies conjoined, what this is telling me is you were confiding in someone. And because you chose the wrong person to talk to, that meant you experienced an upheaval when you returned back to an environment, and you're also realizing now that someone told on you. Now, for another, your conversation was recorded. Now, this is someone's attempt to bind you in some sort of legality. However, currently, I'm not going to go through that. So if you feel like this is you, joining tier 3 is my best advice for you. Now, because this Scorpio energy fell on the carpet, what this is telling me is someone is either traveling or they're in the midst of a transition. Now, this particular transition involves an upgrade. However, for some, this upgrade could be to their device or their life. And because of this, all parties that is currently involved in some sort of upheaval that is certainly involving an elect one is coming out in this reading. Oh, look at that. Now, because that flipped in reverse right before your eyes, what this is telling me, and for some of you, what this is clarity for, is someone's foolish mistake. Now, if you've been watching, you are already aware that this card is one of the first cards that came out. And because of this, that is signaling me to go behind the scenes. Now, if you feel like this is you, joining tier 1 will suffice for the second part of this reading. However, if you want something more in depth, you could either upgrade to tier 3 or you could reach out to me at oracleoftheether@gmail.com and book with me. See you on Sun, Moon, and Stars Intuitive on tier 1. Deuces. What is your name? What is your name? Sergisias Ether.